Good morning, everyone. It is day 26 out here. Um, had the shelter all to myself last night. Set my tent up a short distance away from it. It was quiet and peaceful all night. Sleeping next to the stream just made it nice. But anyways, day 26. The plan today is to go just under 10 miles. Not going to push it today. I kind of pushed it yesterday a little bit. I wanted to see what the deal was, and I learned. My back was giving me some issues yesterday, so I did a lot of stretching exercises last night before I went to bed. I did some stretching exercises before I got up this morning, before I got out of bed this morning, and right now it feels pretty good. We're gonna find out if I can do the 10 miles and I do it easily, then I'll consider going another 5. But I don't need to, and I'll explain that more throughout the day. But anyways, all right, I'm packed up, ready to go. Let's get this show on the road. It's a blaze. They do exist in Vermont. The blaze is a very rare creature. This is the first one I've seen since I left camp. That's been about 1.5 miles. Here's the thing. Most of the time the trail is like this, but not always. Sometimes you hit intersections on trails that you don't even know you've hit, and the next thing you know, you're off the trail. You're off the AT trail, and you're on some other trail. And the only way to catch that is by using your Far Out app and your GPS. I don't think it's supposed to be that way. But yeah, I traveled almost 1.5 miles this morning before I saw my first blaze. And even that one, as you saw, was only half a blaze. Or maybe 3/4. I'll give them credit for 3/4. But it's so old that it's barely visible. Anyways, I don't know. I don't like inefficiency. I don't like incompetence. And so I think I'm just going to have to get it into my head that you simply cannot rely on the primary method of navigation out here, which is a simple white blaze on a tree or a rock. So almost 2 miles into the day, and run across this. It's beautiful. Nice little suspension bridge bouncing all over the place on me. It's beautiful. Love it. Look, it's ablaze with a turn signal. Haven't seen many of those in Vermont. No, no, no. All right, let's keep on going. A little over 3 miles in, just past a Forest Service road. It's just, I don't even know what to say, man. The trail here is so poorly marked. When I came to that intersection, there was a girl walking around, didn't know which way to go because there was no signs. There was no blazes. There was nothing that told her where to go if she's going south. I did point her in the right direction, so she's good. But then it was my turn. They had a sign that said ATLT North, about 100 feet onto a parking area with an arrow. The arrow pointing toward the woods. So I'm thinking, okay, that's the trail. I would be wrong. It was not the trail. About 5 steps in, you realize that that was not the trail. So I come back out and some genius who's sleeping in his car says, "That's not the trail." I said, yeah, I kind of figured that out. "Well, the trail's down the road." Yeah, I figured that out too. What a butthead. But Vermont, come on, man. You don't put a sign 100 feet away from where the trail's supposed to go with an arrow pointing down a non-existent trail. I don't get it. I don't get it. Even the road walking, which wasn't very far, down to another parking area, no blazes. None. Nothing. Zip. Zero. At this point, honestly, I'll be glad to get off the trail in Vermont because the people that are maintaining the signage, the blaze, it just Tennessee of the North, man. It's the Tennessee of the North. All right, that's my bitch for the day. I have come right at 5 miles for the day, and it's been a pretty miserable day. The trail has not been difficult. What made today bad, the bugs, and the really, really poorly marked trail here in Vermont. I believe yesterday I said that Vermont took over the title from New York as being the Tennessee of the North. Well, I'm going a step further today. Tennessee is now the Vermont of the South. This is by far the worst marked trail that I have been on out here. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad. Just in 5 miles, I've been off trail 7, 8 times. Not fun. Not fun. But look at this. This kind of makes up for it. Yeah, no, it really doesn't, but it's beautiful here. I do like it. All right. Come 9.5 miles so far today. And I'm telling you, man, this has been a long, long day. The terrain has just been horrible. You know, no major ups, no major downs, but this is about the best I've seen it today. It's just been rocks and roots and these angled suckers. Almost every step you take is not the normal step that you would take. It's rare. I was considering possibly going to the next shelter, but I gotta be honest, man, my legs are shot. I mean, they're shot. These rocks and roots today, combined with the bugs and and really, really, really bad trail maintenance. Blazes. It's like everything has conspired against me today, and I'm getting ready to hit a downhill. So, yeah. All right. I am at the Green Wall Shelter. This is an old shelter built in 1962. It's been around almost as long as I've been around. But I got here rather early today. They do have a fire pit, picnic table. Not going to be using the picnic table. Not sure what they are, but these little tiny white bugs. I don't know what they are, but they're just all over everything. And I think they were all around. They're just all over everything. Little fire pit. Starting to gather some firewood to try to make some of these bugs go away later this evening. Like I said, I got here really early. So, had my lunch here. My tent's already set up for the evening. Not sure. I've just been kind of fooling around, but it's probably around 2 o'clock now, maybe 3. And I thought about going another 5 miles, but honestly, today was, well, hang on a second. Honestly, today was a pretty crappy day. I think some loneliness set in. The only people I saw out here today were day hikers, not a single person hiking the AT. I'm the only one. So all the high speed runners have already blown by me, and we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But today was a crappy day. The terrain just really sucked. There was no real big steep uphills or downhills, but it's like the whole day was just tiptoeing and tap dancing around rocks and roots and stuff. And by the time I got here, I did 10.1 today. By the time I got here, I was just exhausted. When I get tired, I get grumpy. So I decided the best thing to do was get off this trail. Now, the good thing is I've got service here tonight. Last night I had no service. As soon as I got here and just got situated in a little bit, I called Deb and we talked for, I don't know, hour and a half. I just needed somebody to vent to. And it's going to be a long hike. That's all I can tell you. Hopefully I can find somebody to hike with, because I'm going to be honest, man, today was brutal not having somebody out there to talk to. Go figure. But listen, I'm going to keep trudging along and do the best I can until I find the right person to hopefully hike with. But yeah, today was a pretty difficult day. Yeah, so I'm glad I only decided to do 10.1 instead of trying to pull off a 4. I think it would have been 14.9 had I gone on to the next shelter. But pros and cons, man. Risk versus reward. By not doing that tonight, tomorrow it's supposed to start raining around 11 a.m. and rain the rest of the day and into the night. So I know I've got a wet day coming up for me tomorrow. The good thing about that is it's going to be cooler. I think the high tomorrow is supposed to be only 61 degrees, so that's pretty cool. But the terrain between here and the next shelter, that's just 5 miles. I think there's a big downhill and then a big uphill. Don't know how big. I underestimated or overestimated them before, so just gonna have to wait and see. But rainy day, I've got scheduled a 15.2 mile day. There's another shelter that I could stop at if I needed to, if the weather was really bad and I felt like I couldn't go any further, at 9.1. I really don't want to go 9.1. That's too low. I'm really trying to, I guess in my mind, find an average around 12, 13 miles a day, which means sometimes I'm going to have to do a 15-mile day and sometimes I'll have to do a 9-mile day. But I'm going to shoot for 15 tomorrow, and worst case, I get 9. The ultimate goal for this next stretch is to time it so that I can get into Killington early in the day, do a Nero, get in there, get a place to stay, get a good meal, get a resupply, and 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 do that early enough that I can have some time to rest and relax in a nice hotel room before I get back on the trail the next day. And then we do it all over again for the next 4 or 5 days. And that's the way it'll be for the next 60 days, hopefully. Um, you know, it's beautiful out here. I love being out here. But I'm not going to lie, this trail is hard. Today was hard. I think today was one of the hardest days I've had ever on the trail. And part of it was because of the terrain. Part of it was because of just the piss poor lack of blazing and piss poor trail maintenance. Um, but mostly it's what's going on in my head. And I've got to, hopefully, I'm strong enough to work through it, you know? Um, but look, this is what I get to see and hear for the rest of the evening. Just peace and quiet. It's pretty cool. I do love it out here. All right. Well, hey, listen, y'all have a good day, good night, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you tomorrow.